So last we left off, I actually did save scum. Well, not save scum. I actually had to restart the game and played through the introduction in about 20 minutes by skipping literally every bit of dialogue. And got back to the hospital and was able to reconfirm the hint with Thomas Elwood. And knowing what I know now, I'll be a lot more careful in the future going forward. So, let's see. On a workbench, you can craft medical treatments to heal 6 citizens, serums to boost yourself, weapon upgrades to improve and customize your weapons. Analyze. Enough components to improve one of my weapons. Nope, not quite. I could do that, but eh.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Well, instead of that, I am going to... let's see. Okay, turned into his wallet. Find the local command post of the Guard of Prywood. So yep, doing that next. And yeah, I know I've said it before, but it genuinely looks like he's basically trying to keep the waistband of his pants up when he's running like that. You know, like his thighs are just a little too wide. And his steps are just a little too shallow to... Oh boy, that's... Oh boy. Run. Not ready to take that on yet. Not at my level. Holy crap. So, I mean, I want to get that taken care of here, but damn. Not happening when I'm this low level compared to level 18.
I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this.
Yeah, I might have to start playing this a little earlier in the night, I think. Alright, back into my room. Alrighty, and I don't have anything I can actually do at the moment. The following night.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Buddy, you were just on my lap. Oh, something wrong?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A
Lead the
crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
Fair enough.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If
Alcohol?
combined correctly, Certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Okay. I think I might have encountered that door before, actually. Oh. Looked like something over here, but guess not. Probably just the lantern I was seeing. Alright, not that one. Sick citizens can be healed with the appropriate treatment. A healthy citizen helps contribute to raising the health status of the district. Ferrous tartrate, quinine, and sodium hypochlorite. Okay, thankfully nothing in here from the look of things. My question, of course, is why did this get quarantined? Oh, thought I could pick something up there. Especially if space is a luxury, I mean, this would be preferable to having people just sleeping out in tents in the rain. I mean, surely. Looks like a transfusion kit, maybe? Or that'd be my guess, anyway. Huh. For some reason... Uh-oh.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain.
Very sturdy blood sample.
This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Quinine. Bullets. Okay, no wonder he wasn't no wonder the priest wasn't exactly...
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Bottle of alcohol. Ow.
It's locked, all right.
Holy crap. some reason the area near that door wasn't.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Watery rich blood sample. Put the... Uh-oh. Where'd it go? I admit that moments like that are pretty effective in terms of kind of getting under your skin and making you a little paranoid. Not monumentally so, but... Oh, might have gone by... Uh-oh.
These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Oh, wow. Took that out in one uh-oh. Ow. Yeah, I know. Oh boy. Okay, so it actually does get harder to pull that off as you stun them. I only just realized that when initially it took 2 hits to stun, then it went up to 3, and then after the 3-bar stun, it went up to 4. $3. Office of Pembroke Hospital Medical Examiner. Report of investigation. Decedent Samuel Cotter. Race Caucasoid. Sex male. Age 39. Home address unknown. Occupation fisherman. Type of death natural. Probable cause. Fast progressing pneumonia by virus-induced pulmonary consolidation. Spanish flu. Examination attendees. Dr. Corcoran Tibbets. Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. And Dr. Corcoran Tibbets.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Oh, yeah. Use Lipton knife. Oh, okay, that's actually a nice little offhand one. Here we are. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can swap the keybinds, because holding Q to walk is really not great. Gameplay. Set keybind. I'll see if there's any tied to Alt. If not... Okay, so... Oh, nope. Okay, apparently Alt cannot be done. C, maybe? Nope, C is already used. Switch to ranged weapon. Oh, switch just the ranged weapon. How about V? Toggle... Oh yeah, toggle sense use. Z is in use. X? Well, no, X is gonna have the same problem. F is already being... Yeah, F is used for a lot of things. R. Okay, R, well, There we go. I'll do B. Oh. There we go. Awesome. Actually, let's see if I can... Nope, can't get into there. I can get into here, however. Yeah, odds are this will be a relatively short stream. Not really short, but, you know, only till about midnight or so, so about another hour. Uh-oh. I'm not liking the look of this layout. Oh! Okay.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Sodium hydrochloride. I mean, is there any way I can drink blood without killing the person? That'd be my question. Because if that were possible, then yeah, by all means. Oh. I feel a little stupid for not remembering that, but, well, he's a fleshling vampire. An enigmatic formula. Needs to be analyzed. Which I can only do at the desk. Oh, here we are. Treatment for fatigue. Treatment for cold, bronchitis, and pneumonia. White blood serum. Medicine to Dorothy. Yeah, I feel a little silly for having used that there, but... Alright. Oh, yeah, what am I doing? I can go out the... Come on. There we go. Got one down. Oh, awesome. There we go. Watch and quinine. So when did that happen, though? I mean, I thought this was pretty well warded off. Upgrade the weapons using workbenches. Yep. Went up a fair bit in levels. Oh, yeah, actually, I want to talk to Pippa again anyway. Ask her about her... Here we are.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Milton Hooks, Harvey... Ah, Dorothy Crane.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, Nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Yeah, the 1,000-yard stare is kind of putting me off, I'll admit. Diseases decrease the blood quality of a citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in the room behind Dorothy to check his medical status.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help
Pardon
your
me?
son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
As well as the attendant... trying to think how to put it politely. Attendant hang-ups, I guess?
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
I'm guessing Milton,
What
if I had to
gave you
guess.
such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite
Yep.
rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief. but it wasn't cheap.
Ah,
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
that's why I'm looking into it, and I'm hoping I can talk them out of it.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
So many deaths. And still
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
Oh,
No,
Really?
he was bit.
Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Press E to check the medical status. Fatigue.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Fair enough.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what...
Yeah,
my
she probably
mother is
stormed the
capable of.
gates of...
She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How
So painful.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I mean, come on. Given the placement of the bandages, it's not exactly...
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Recovering.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk.
Fair enough.
I have to go now, sir.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Goodbye, Mrs.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Okay, over to Pippa. Oh, actually, I'll see what...
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Here we are.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since
Dorothy.
I've come back to
That's
England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
What can you tell me about our patient?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
So
Can
I
you be
noticed.
more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
Oof.
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911,
So
a
7
few
years.
months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
Give or take.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Hell of a first job to get into.
I'll see you later.
There. There we are. Nurse
Good
Hawkins.
evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Need a
Good
word.
evening, Dr. Reed.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
Oh. I'm not sure which one to go with here. Let's see. Saves beds for patients who can pay. And the two of them are a couple. I'll go with this one. Hope it's an armor-piercing question of sorts.
How can you be affected by the misery around you and be so heartless at the same time? Which is the real you, Nurse Hawkins?
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reed. Are you more real when you lie to a dying patient, or when you grant him useless medication?
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though
Oh.
Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Huh. Of course, then again, you might say the same
Goodbye, Nurse
to
Hawkins.
protect him. So yeah, I'll confront Milton with that one then. There he is.
Good evening, Milton.
Good
Alright,
evening,
Milton.
Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Trying and succeeding.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see the city is crumbling down? Today, people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow, we may be fighting for food.
Okay.
Goodbye, Milton.
I might have to... Well, actually, I can now talk to... Not Pippa... Not Rakesh... Not Strickland, not Goswick. There's Thomas... Oh. Oh yeah, in the one locked room here. Oh yes, that's right, I found the
Good evening,
autopsy
Dr.
report.
Timmons.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Huh. When I found the...
Goodbye.
But Dr. Tippett's signature was on there. Yeah, not Mortimer, not... Okay, apparently they're going to come into play later. Oh, okay. So yeah,
Good evening,
need a
Nurse
word.
Brandon.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Oh. Oh, crap. I've got to go back into the morgue to be able to do that. All that work, and I only now realized, oh, yeah, I never actually looked at... I never examined the body. I passed by it, sure, but I didn't examine the thing. Says, citizens will be reported missing, quests will be lost. Oh, okay, so that's actually a nice little incentive for those that maybe are a little less discerning. Oh, crap. Lovely. I have no idea how well this is going to work out. Better than I thought. Quite a bit better than I thought, actually. Ah, crap. Oh, crap. Wow, I'm actually doing pretty well on this one. Yeah, the combat's mildly clunky, but not too bad. Clove essence. Uh-oh. I was hearing something. Ferrous tartrate and quinine. Potassium permanganate. Clove essence again. Potassium permanganate? Got it? Or clove essence again. Okay. Salicin.
It's locked, all right. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Bloody nose.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
So yeah, probably rope burns from the sound of it.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
Maybe reopen the chest?
A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
His exhaustion caught up with him, I'll bet. That'd be my guess, is just he was exhausted, and they're both trying to cover up for the other. Which, if understandable, is not good. I think I'm doing it about face on that one. Literally noped the hell out of there. Alright, anything in here I can... Yep. More potassium. Actually, there might be something upstairs I could get too, now that I think about it. And I don't think I'll be dealing with a level 16 up there. Ergotamine. Ergotamine? Level 9. Nothing so far. I mean, I figure I'm in here anyway, may as well loot what I can. Ow. Thought I blocked it. Come on, I blocked that one. Parried, rather. Damn it. Okay, that was rough, especially compared to before. Alright, codeine. Nothing over there. More codeine. And, yeah, just 4 codeine. Not sure if... Huh. Oh, yeah. I knew about that. Oh, good God. Oh, damn it. Come on. Well, considering it was level 12, I suppose I should be happy I managed to do that well. Alright, heading back to the hospital to confront the... let's see... Dr. Corcoran and Nurse Brannigan. About their failed procedure that... well, not so much the procedure itself that failed, but just the cover-up. And half the time you get in trouble, it's going to be because you tried hiding it.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Overqualified as a nurse. Covered for it.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett
Then he needs
in
to
our
pace
situation?
himself. I understand what you did.
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Some opium? Oh, speaking of.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Yeah, no.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong.
Oh?
The administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks. Maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
Which would explain why he's
Why
still
not
there.
stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Then you need to pace yourself, buddy.
I will cover for you, Dr. Tippett, by keeping what happened to Mr. Connor to myself.
I don't know what to say, actually. I can't exactly force you to become my accomplice.
You didn't force me. This is my decision to make. I believe you're still of use to the hospital, considering the situation.
Then I can make you this promise. As soon as the epidemic is eradicated, I will resign.
And apparently I managed to get... Yep, Corcoran's exhausting himself. Oh. Oh, okay, that's the one over here.
What will you do after your resignation?
I'm guessing he's
Do you
gonna
have a plan?
ask...
I always fancied visiting Cyprus.
Oh,
Such a beautiful island. I could buy a house there by the sea, read poetry, and wait for death.
huh.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Oh, may as well talk to Clay Cox. This is gonna be an interesting one.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed, Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
Yes, so insult an employee of...
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
You know, at this point I'm really regretting not having just drained the blood out of this guy.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
I'll leave you for...
Let's see, so I need another fatigue, I think. Oh. Hospital full. Please go home. Now, where's Nurse Brannigan? Pardon me? Oh, there she is. More opium?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Nurse.
I was kind of hoping I'd be able to inform her about Dr. Tippett's. Yep, Tippett's impending retirement.
I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
Alright, figure I'll talk to... well, sodium hypochlorite. Ferrous tartrate. Cheap gin, small bottle. Codeine and... ferrous tartrate. And sodium hypochlorite solution. Alrighty, so back to my workbench. Oh yeah, that's where I found the dragon blade. Okay, so that's where I can swap between two sets of clothing and... Oh, spiffy.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
So... I'm gonna have to look up whether I can actually give that water. Light regeneration, light blood. Whew, holy crap. So let's see. Fatigue. And I've only got 2 of those. Bronchitis, cold. Not pneumonia though. So hopefully I'll only encounter those 2. Okay, settle on in. I'm thinking just... Let's see. Well, actually, first and foremost, just increase my health. Then bite. Double damage. Let's see. Autophagy. Oof, that's a heck of a jump. Oh, it needs to be level 8. Tactical. I think I'll go with... The shadows help hide the vampire, turning them invisible to the uninitiated. In return, it drains the vampire's stamina if they move. Once the vampire's stamina is empty, they will become visible again. A useful tip, rookie. If you think you see something moving, shoot. Shoot? Shoot what? Just shoot. The common belief that vampires can disappear into thin air is misleading. Rather, they can greatly increase their speed with blood, moving so fast that to human eyes it appears as if they appear and reappear at will. I'm pretty sure they meant to say, it appears as if they disappear and reappear at will. Correctly used, this ability can be offensive or defensive, depending on the vampire's state of mind. It's too easy to catch up to your prey with spring. It's almost boring when they start running. I think I'll go with the Shadow Veil. Oh, crap. Guess I can't. Whoop! No, do not want to lose those. And with that, I believe I am... Oh. Every night, the consequences of your actions may improve or degrade the district health status. It can also be degraded due to diseases spread among citizens. The more lives you take, the unhealthier a district becomes. If a district's health status drops below the critical threshold, it will plunge into chaos. It is for you to decide of a district's fate. And actually, that's the one thing I'll do prior to leaving. Or prior to quitting for the night. Okay, there's Clayton Cox. The ornery bastard. Alright.
Hey, Doc.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Hippocratic Oath.
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
I'll leave you for now.
Why we still work here?
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in Pembroke. Remember? My neighborhood. I, for one, am still waiting to see it.
Well, that's reassuring. Believe me, it gives me courage.
Okay, and with that, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time.